Hi, I'm Lizzie.
Hi, I'm Elena.
And together we're the Awkward Fellows.
Today we're going to be warming up for Season 6 of Game of Thrones.
The real war is between the living and the dead. And make no mistake, the dead are coming.
Season 6.
I know.
Game of Thrones.
I
Not long now.
know. No.
And it's gonna, of course we're gonna watch it.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we're gonna think it's amazing. Because Game of Thrones is pretty amazing. But, after last season, there were some issues there. I really hope that Season 6 sort of eliminates a little bit about what we're going to be talking about went wrong last time.
Yeah. Like the pacing was really off in season 5. It felt really clunky and just kind of like where is this really taking us? And that kind of amplified all the things that have like always been kind of an issue with Game of Thrones, but you just kind of overlooked it because of the overall amazingness of the show. But all of a sudden when it's not that great, all of those things kind of like step much more into the foreground.
And then all the things that really were great, like these awesome characters, are totally dumbed down and they lose a lot of their complexity and a lot of their interest really for the audience. And then to top it all off, like, we get that there are a lot of storylines, there are a lot of people that need to, be visited, and we need to figure out what's going on here and here and here. But when they're not going towards a common goal like they were early on, and just sort of floating off a tangent, it becomes really difficult to follow after a while.
Yeah. It was kind of true for all the storylines really, but especially the Dorne storyline, which was newly introduced this season, and Sansa's storyline, which just felt like backtracking a lot.
Gosh, yeah. Sansa.
More of her later.
Yes. But then, again, Game of Thrones, they do know their shit once in a while, because when they get it right, oh man, is it interesting and intriguing and north of the Wall?
Yeah. Everything going on the Wall and north of it was really great this season.
Jon Snow, truly magnificent Kit Harington this year, especially compared to, how we started out.
Yeah, there's of course a lot of things we're looking forward to in season 6 as well, but more about that later. First off, let's start up in Dorne and all the problems that went into that storyline.
Here's what's not to do in season 6.
Exactly.
For their sake, I hope you live a long and happy life. Speak to me that way again, and you won't.
So much potential, and just like dropped it all on the floor. Like, it's so bad. Like, it's really bad. I think actually the thing that gets me the most angry is the waste of good actors. There's so many good actors in this storyline. You have Alexander Siddig, who is a cutie and also like a great actor. And you have Indira Varma, who's just like
also an amazing actress.
So good in like everything else that I watched her in. And it's just, you should watch the TV show in its own merits, of course, because it's not the books and it like vice versa. But yeah, when I've read the books, and when you know what they're working from and how interesting it is, well, the political plotting and how different Dorne is from Westeros in a lot of ways, it's just, it's really, really frustrating when you see that not brought to fruition, really.
And I feel that it's equally frustrating for somebody who hasn't read the books. For me, just watching the show last season, I don't know, you could just tell that there was so much more, and they kept sort of dropping little hints here and there, and you're like, oh, this is interesting. And it seemed like there was a really rich backstory, and they never got into it. And then I talked to you about it, and you're like, yeah, there was a lot that they missed out on. And you're just thinking, well, that's a wasted opportunity.
Yeah. Like, especially in Ilaria's case as well.
Gosh, yeah. Ilaria. Whoever thought it was a clever idea to paint her the way that they did in the show. I don't know, because that was like the most one-note villainous stereotype I've ever seen. She was just like this little cunning, conniving, completely non-subtle version of a woman who was obviously set on revenge.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. And it, like, with her children as well, the sand snakes, I mean,
Gosh.
it's just embarrassing, really. I mean, that's, it's so frustrating. Again, frustrating is the word that I'm gonna use because it really is frustrating, but...
Word of the day.
Yeah, but you have this, it's so embarrassing because it feels like it's like a 13-year-old who wrote, oh, this is gonna be like so cool, we're gonna have this female assassin who is kind of like, she has a sword, but then she's also really sexy and she likes to talk about her tits a lot. I mean, it's just...
Especially that one line.
You want a good girl, but you need a bad pussy.
Yeah, not a success on the whole.
No.
Which is a real shame, because even the reason that we're even visiting Dorne is sort of out of the blue. Jaime all of a sudden deciding that his daughter is worth, saving.
Yeah.
Is really left field for me, at least. I had sort of forgotten about her. So when she all of a sudden has, first of all, what should have been quite a touching moment of honesty between her and Jaime, like, yeah, I get you're my daddy, I'm fine with it, let's move on.
Yeah.
And then she's poisoned anyways, and has a very tragic death, with her betrothed or beloved. I didn't feel anything.
No, because we had spent like 2 minutes with her.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really buy Jaime as the caring father.
No.
Still.
No.
It doesn't work.
No, I mean, like, he has developed as a character for sure. He's become, like, a lot more of a good guy, even though he, like, pushed Bran out of the window in season 1, which I'm not going to forgive him for. But just, like, it felt so out of character for him. And, like,
It did.
And he was not the only person who felt out of character. I mean, that gets more obvious in the Sansa storyline, and I get so angry about Sansa's storyline. Like, I love Sansa, and it's terrible.
Really does.
It's terrible, so get ready for some serious anger.
Yeah, coming up.
I'm Sansa Stark of Winterfell. This is my home, and you can't frighten me.
Like, I think the most perplexing character development in this is Littlefinger, who's just like, you have Varys going, oh, he's the most dangerous man in Westeros, but like he just comes off as incompetent in his dealings with Sansa and Ramsay. It's like, I don't know anything about you, so I'll just hand over my biggest trump card to you, and it's just weird. It's just like, why are you doing this? I mean, it's probably something about, destabilizing the North or whatever, but it never becomes clear what his game actually is here, and it just makes him seem stupid because, I mean, he's been paying so much attention to Sansa, and then all of a sudden he just hands her over and then goes away. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
In
And
terms of plot.
that's the thing. A lot of what Littlefinger does doesn't make sense to us initially, and we're like, wait, what's the plan here? But this is the first time where it feels like Littlefinger doesn't know what the plan is. Where
Yeah,
he's like,
exactly. Like, he
sure, have her.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't know what the game is, which is really
Odd.
weird, to say the least.
Yes. And then the issue with Sansa sort of being given to Ramsay, essentially, is not only that it completely undermines Littlefinger, it totally means that her character backtracks into this weird sort of completely agency-less character. She finally dyed her hair. She finally got a sexy dress. She was on track to becoming somebody who's actually interesting. And now she's back into this hole of like, oh no. Ugh.
Yeah, and I mean, we do not agree on Sansa. Sansa is one of my favorite characters, and he just hates her, which is...
Hate would be a thing, at least, because then I would have like emotion towards her. I just think she's boring as...
Anyways, of course, the biggest set piece sounds wrong, but you know, the biggest event of Sansa's storyline was, of course, her wedding night to Ramsay, which upset a lot of people, myself included. Yes. I mean, you can say a lot about the rape scene, and a lot has been said about it, but I felt the most damning thing about it was it kind of felt just too much. I mean, sexual violence has been a big part of Game of Thrones since the first season when Daenerys was raped, but it just, like, it's too much. I mean, we've seen this too many times, and it just finally became too much to just accept. It's like, oh, so we just have her character arc undermined, and we have her back to being the victim and the abused and everything, which was so frustrating to me and just got me so angry. Especially because you don't actually need to see more of Ramsay being evil. Like, you know he's evil. You don't need to see him raping people. We have seen him rape people. We have seen him cut Theon's dick off. We have seen him skin people. It's just, leave well enough alone. We know he's evil. We don't need any more reasons to hate him. We already hate him.
Well, this is true. And I mean, we know that Ramsay's sort of like almost the replacement for Joffrey this season. Like, okay, now he's the super evil dude who likes to torture and rape and pillage. And that's fine, but it just, like, one, he doesn't have, and I hate to use this term about Joffrey because he's terrible, but he was also sort of charismatic. Like, there was something about him where it was interesting to watch scenes with him. Yeah. And Ramsay is a little bit more
flat. Yeah, really. It becomes almost kind of a cipher in a way, I thought, in this season as well. I mean, like, you have, like, he's such a weird character because, like, he's so evil and disgusting, and then at the same time you have this goofy humor with him, which is, like, he makes fat jokes and everything. It's just, like, weird, and then all of a sudden he's, like, a really strategic mastermind who burns down Stannis' encampment. So
who is also pining for his daddy's love. Like.
Yeah, it's like he's all over the place, which is... Oh, it's weird. It's such a weird dynamic.
It was a mess. Which is also why the rape scene actually didn't bother me that much. Like, we all saw it coming. We knew he was a bad guy, and we knew exactly that there's a lot of gratuitous violence, that there's this, and we knew that Sansa had gotten back to being in the role of the victim. So I was like, you know what? It didn't bother me, but it also didn't pique my interest in any way. It was just like, we don't need it.
It just makes me really, really angry because, like, I was looking so much forward to seeing Sansa becoming like this really powerful woman who would just, like, rally the North and
And now for something completely different.
Okay, since I'm not allowed to be angry about Sansa anymore, because I can do that for a very long time, let's talk about something that makes me a little more happy.
How about Jon Snow?
Yeah.
The long night is coming, and the dead come with it. No clan can stop them. The free folk can't stop them. The Night's Watch can't stop them, and all the Southern Kings can't stop them. Only together. All of us. And even then it may not be enough, but at least we'll give the fuckers a fight.
Let's talk about Jon Snow. Let's talk about how Kit Harington has transformed that character since season 1. Well, I would assume not only Kit Harington, but it's a very well-written character, which is a lovely change of pace. And he goes from just being completely sort of whiny and weepy and not really intriguing in any way to becoming pretty tolerable, if not likable, with Ygritte. But as soon as she dies, boy, does he step into, like, a man's role.
Yeah, he really does.
He totally owns it.
Yeah.
God, that was really nice to see a character arc that actually led somewhere. And it was really, really nice to see him doing things actively that weren't just for his own benefit, but, you know, for the greater good that everybody else seems to have been forgetting about lately.
Yeah, it's true. And that he, like, Stannis as well was really good this season. Yeah. Well, I say good because you know, it's not okay to burn your children. people just like, for the record, that's not cool to do. But having said that, it actually kind of made sense for Stannis to go there. I mean, like, he's super single-minded, and he's been like pursuing.
He is driven.
Yeah, you gotta. If you say nothing else about Stannis, like, he's definitely driven, and he's been going for that Iron Throne since like season 2 when he was first introduced. Yeah. So it kind of made sense that like Shireen would end up burned because, you know, you need king's blood to do spells. So yeah, it was. But it's a really interesting contrast to the whole Myrcella thing that we talked about earlier, actually, because like you didn't care about Myrcella, but Shireen had been built up for the entire season, and she's so cute, and she was bonding with Davos and teaching him how to read. Nice girl. And like, it was just so when the time actually arrives that she does the march to the pyre, it's horrifying, and you just feel like, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly. And then speaking of sort of pacing and timing and everything, like, they didn't just let it go. It wasn't like, we'll lead up to this and then everybody knows that she's been burned. No. We'll watch it happen.
Yeah.
It's bad.
As much as you hate Stannis for it, and you really hate Stannis for it, because it's not okay to burn your children.
Don't do it.
Again,
don't
it's not okay.
Barbecue your daughters.
No. But then you have him at the end of season 5, and he's just like, he's lost his kid, he's lost his wife, he's lost his men, he's probably lost the Iron Throne, and probably also his life. I mean, we don't actually see him die, but
that thrust from Brienne
it seemed pretty final. It did, for sure. But, you know, like Game of Thrones, you're never dead until you've actually until you're burned.
Well, I mean, some people you kind of know are dead. Like, if you see them lying in the snow, bleeding out from a lot of stab wounds, they're dead.
Jon Snow is so not dead.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Like, there are a lot of things we need to sort of wait and see about for season 6.
Yeah, but
I don't know. There are a lot of things I'm looking forward to still.
Yeah, I mean, you have the Danish Invasion.
Yes.
Continued. I mean, we have Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, and we had Birgitte Hjort Sørensen as
for like a hot minute.
Yeah, in Hardhome was badass. Yeah. But by the way, that fight, like that battle scene at Hardhome, just like FYI, was just so amazing.
That was like the epic fantasy battle that Game of Thrones needed.
Yeah. But cool. Yeah. So hopefully we're gonna see some more of that at the Iron Islands, which I'm really looking forward to. And you
pirates.
With pirates, yes. And Pilou Asbæk, who is playing Euron Greyjoy, which is gonna be awesome. He's good. An interesting character, and Pilou is a great actor. So if you haven't seen him in anything, just definitely look forward to that. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool, and we have King's Landing as well, where like I expect that Cersei is just
a certain naked lady
gonna lose her fucking mind in the next season. I mean, and especially when Jaime comes back from Dorne with a certain thing in the cargo room.
Yeah, that's not gonna help. Losing yet another child.
Yeah,
we're gonna go crazy.
Absolutely. But I mean, who knows? It's gonna be interesting anyway. Like, so what are you looking forward to the most, actually?
I have a few personal favorites that I'm still hoping to see more of in the next season. People who aren't dead yet. I mean, Davos is just heartwarming. Oh. He is amazing. I think he's such a genuine, nice, intriguing, intelligent, sympathetic character.
So few of them.
And now that Stannis isn't around, I hope we still get to see a little bit more of his story.
He's probably going to be a badass at the wall, I think.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah.
He'd be good. And then, I mean, he's been super annoying this season, like so many others, and he needs to learn to take no for an answer. But I think you know who I'm talking about here. Jorah.
Yeah.
But he's still lovely and sweet and blonde as fuck. And I really hope he finds a pretty lady who isn't too involved with dragons, who can give him a time of day. He needs that.
Yeah, unless he dies first of the grayscale.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe he'll find a nice rock lady.
Well, yeah, speaking of Marine, I am so looking forward to watching Tyrion and Varys banter because, like, I like Tyrion, but Varys is just like, no one does bitch face like Varys does. I mean, he's just priceless and he's hilarious, and I love the banter that, yeah, he and Tyrion has got going on in the previous season, so I'm really hoping that we're gonna see more of that.
Like a eunuch and a dwarf, what can go wrong?
Exactly. I mean, and yeah, I've been missing a lot of the the witty dialogue from season 5, so that's something that I really hope is gonna be returning full force.
Yeah. And then hopefully your anger will subside slightly.
No, because Sansa is gonna raise the northern armies and she's just gonna kick everyone's ass and kill Ramsay and she's gonna take over everything and become queen in the north and yeah. I get passionate about Sansa. I do. But of course, the big question is Jon Snow dead?
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't. And he's definitely not. I mean, just conveniently, Melisandre came, who can, like, Red Priest can raise people from the dead, and she arrived just before Jon Snow got stabbed. I mean,
she's obviously lost her juju. She doesn't have anything to offer him anymore. And I mean, it's not like it would be the first time they killed off a major character. Just accept it, he's dead, it's Game of Thrones, people die.
Look who knows so much, huh? Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead. There's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead. Please open his mouth.
R plus L equals J, right? You know what I mean?
Cryptic message.
Yeah. That's why I don't think Jon is dead.
I don't know. So. I think they'll probably use him for a few flashbacks or like lying in the snow, all that. I don't know. He might have like a final sort of, I now know something, and then die. But no, he's dead.
You know nothing. Canadian.
Look, you want to bet?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. So, what are we betting on?
Bottle of wine for me?
Bottle of beer?
Sure.
Alright.
That's a deal.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see for the next season, which is coming closer and closer. It's going to be really interesting.
Yes.
So you should probably check back when the next season starts and see what we're going to cook up. Because we're definitely going to be talking about Game of Thrones again.
Probably.
Yeah, so...
but until then, how exactly are we going to wrap this up?
Yeah, we kind of need a catchphrase, don't we? But yeah, until we find that one, just to say, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye!
Bye. Dorne.
Let's start out in Dorne.
Let's make it a musical.
Okay.
Let's start out in Dorne.